Hi, I'm Ezelle from The Upcoming. Hi. So congratulations on this fantastic series. Could you just tell us how you got involved in the project in the first place?
Yeah, I read about it in the papers, and it's an incredible story. Not an incredible story in sort of television terms, but an incredible story in real life terms. Lots of things that didn't make sense, and lots of really wild details. They had a pen pal relationship with Jared Depardieu. They were massive fans of this is Susan and Chris, the murderers. They had a massive collection of memorabilia that ended up being worth next to nothing at all. They were on the run in France. They sort of sent polite emails to the police. All of it was just wild and fascinating, but didn't really make sense. And so that, I guess we're all sort of natural storytellers. I think everyone reading that case was trying to work out what that was about and how those people got there. And so that was the kind of motivation for it, I suppose. Trying to work out how those people, both the victims and the perpetrators, got to that point. Well, I can talk to what makes Olivia special, because I kind of, I live with that day and day. She's like emotionally like a coiled spring. She'll cry at anything. She's so open emotionally and sort of available emotionally to sort of hope and sadness and joy and all the rest of it, that she, she's got that, and she's able to access that whilst performing as well, which is, I think, a real gift. And she does it seemingly effortlessly. David is very similar, I think. Olivia and I have been massive fans of David for a long time. He probably is one of the reasons we ended up going to drama school back in the day. We watched him in Naked, in Mike Leigh's Naked, which was just one of the all-timers, and just absolutely fell in love with that, and fell in love, I suppose, with the idea of what performance on screen and on stage can bring. And so that was David, and so incredible to, like, all this time later, for us all to be working together. No, I do, and that's almost the intention. I mean, I don't want to in any way diminish the awfulness of the crimes that they committed, but I think what tends to happen when someone's convicted of a crime is that sort of one's view of them crystallizes around that. So instantly, Chris and Susan became cold-hearted killers in the view of the press, and probably in the view of most people. But I think life's much more complicated than that, and there were details of their lives that brought them to where they were that makes us wonder. And I don't think I have an answer to that, really. The series is about asking questions rather than answering them, and that question in particular about where our sympathies should lie when lives are complicated, when there are all sorts of things that go on in people's lives, and in Susan's life in particular, when she was a young girl, that were nothing to do with her and not her fault in the slightest, and she couldn't escape, that I think to a certain extent made her the person she is today. Yeah, so it was all about that.
And what do you think makes it so unique as a crime series?
It's a crime series in that it's definitely about the true story of this crime, but I think we were very keen not to go down a sort of standard procedural route. Firstly, there's no doubt about what they did, and that they're guilty, and so we know who done it, in that sense. But I think the more interesting side of it was why they did it and why they got to the position before that, almost, and what their relationship was about. And they are obviously people who have told each other stories to cope with whatever they've had to cope with in their lives throughout their whole lives. And I think that's just a really fascinating thing, and something we all do, and something it's worth considering. I think that's just an interesting question. Yeah. From the word go, Jane was do what you want with this story. Be as brave as you want to be. Don't worry about budget. Let fly with your imagination. And that's what the show's all about. The power of the imagination and fantasy, and the stories we tell each other, basically.